Hello and welcome to this episode of Pixel Journey. Today's episode will be dedicated to how Animal Crossing essentially got me back into playing video games. So during my childhood, I played a lot of video games, and it wasn't until high school and college that I really had to stop because I was taking a lot of higher level classes and I was doing sports and clubs. So I hadn't actually played video games in a few years whenever quarantine happened, and at the time my boyfriend had recently gotten a Switch Lite. Animal Crossing was just coming out. Most of our friends were playing it. It seemed very fun, and so I started playing on his Switch some games that he had. The main one was Cat Quest, if you've ever heard of it. It's a very fun little game, but that was the first one, and then I started to want to get back into playing games. And so I tried a bit on my computer, and then all my friends kept telling me, oh, you need to get a Switch. But it was so hard at the time. And eventually, I wasn't the one that was able to find a Switch, it was my mom. And so she got me a Switch, and my birthday was coming up soon. It wasn't even until the next year that happened. And my boyfriend had ended up getting me Animal Crossing for my birthday. And so we played together. We would play together, wake up every morning, do our little tasks. When turnips happened, he got into turnips a lot more than me. So he would help me with my turnips. But it was a very fun time because that was the main thing that we could do. And so it was our little escapism, like for most other people. And it actually ended up getting my mom to get her own Switch whenever she, could find Switches during the time to where they were gone every time they restocked. And so she actually got her own Switch and got Animal Crossing and tried to play with us too. And so it was just a really fun kind of bonding time for all of us. And so it was very fun. And so the main issue that I have was I ran out of stuff to do. And so I understand the appeal. It's a sandbox game. You collect villagers who are cute animals. You can change your clothes. You can decorate your house. Apparently this was the first game that you could decorate the outside. So this was my first Animal Crossing game. So I had no idea what I was getting into. But it was very fun. My favorite parts were catching all the little critters, fishing, and collecting stuff to put in my museum. Because I could go in and I could see everything that I had done. And I could look and go, I did that. I caught all those bugs. I caught all those fish. And I could also see, oh, I'm missing something here. I need to go figure that out. And it was so fun when I was first playing that first year. Each new season, I would go and I would find that's a new bug. I need to catch that. I would try and fish, and I would fish like morning. I would fish in the afternoon. I would fish at night. I would fish when it's raining. I was always so excited when it would rain because you could catch new fish. And that was the thing that really kept me going. That was the main draw for me because yes, I found a bunch of villagers. I actually got Marshall as one of my villagers, and I really like him. But I do have some villagers that I don't really like, and I did have some issues because I have two villagers with the same nature, attitude, and they just tell me the same thing. So I do wish there was a little bit more dialogue because they'll tell me the same two jokes, and so I was a bit bummed at that. But it was really fun going and finding a lot of my villagers because aside from like 2, maybe 3, I found all of them. So it was really fun for me because I would go to different islands. One was I wasn't even looking for a villager. I was trying to find a shark island, and I just happened to find one of my villagers. I'm just like, oh, you're really cute. I didn't realize I have a home for you. Let's take you back to my island. And so that was always really fun. And I did like decorating my house. I was able to get each room to kind of have a theme. So like my bedroom had a theme. I had a little writing nook. I put a bunch of my tables and my chairs in there. It's a bit wonky, but I have what I need in there. My main room kind of just shows off a bunch of stuff. I've got like a cool table with some stuff on it and like a bunch of stuff on the walls. And then my favorite room is probably, I have an aquarium room, and it shows off all of my favorite aquatic animals that I've caught. And I have a chair in the middle, and I will go and just sit there and look around at all of my stuff. And that is still to this day one of my favorites whenever I do occasionally get on. If there's like a holiday or something, a lot of the times when I go visit my mom, I will bring Animal Crossing and play with her on it. Like a lot of times like we'll build a snowman or something like that. And yeah, that's still my favorite room. My basement is probably the weirdest. I turned it into a gym. And then I have like just another bedroom upstairs. But that I could make work. The problem was I can't make it work for the outside. I don't have enough stuff to make anything cohesive. I don't have a whole lot of stuff to design anything. I've got some chairs here. I've got a lamp somewhere. I don't have enough outdoor stuff. So to kind of make up for that, when I unlocked terraforming, I separated my island into different areas. So one area has like a little business district. It's got my villagers' houses. Another has my fruit trees. And then next to the fruit trees, I put my house on a high hill. And then it's backed to all of my flowers. And then I have a little heart pond that I made. It took me forever, but I was very proud. I made my little heart pond, and I have like some bamboo trees. I got some money trees. And so because I couldn't decorate it, I kind of rearranged it myself. But like that was really the most I could do. And so once I did that and I got most of my fossils, I got most of my critters, I couldn't really do much. After that first year, it felt like I lost a bunch of stuff for it because there wasn't anything really new coming out. It was that first year, it was great because it would be new seasons. I loved the snow when the trees would turn to cherry blossoms. I loved that. That seemed to be like such good little details. The music was good. Like everything, it was so good. But there was just a hard limit on what I could do in a day. I could go, if my trees were ready, I could shake my trees. I could catch some critters and sell them. I could find my fossils. And that was really it for the most part. So because of that, I had put it down for a while. And then one of the directs from Nintendo mentioned that they were going to do an update and they would include swimming. And so that got me back into it for a good while because I had new stuff to go and catch. So I would go in and I would try and catch everything that I could while swimming in my ocean. And it was fun, and it brought the fun back. And I would go and I would talk to all my villagers and I would give them gifts. Like I would try and like do everything. And it's such a cozy game. It's when someone says cozy games, I think of like Animal Crossing and like Stardew. Those are like the main two I think of, because it's very much what they are. It's not going to pressure you to do things, and that I do very much enjoy that. But I also can only play those types of games for so long because my brain can't just enjoy a fun sandbox. It needs something to do. So that is my main issue. So really, I feel like I finished the game and there wasn't really anything for me to do. But there was other people who had such aesthetic looking islands. They would like redo their islands like every week, and they would like, here's my island. I have all these roads leading from like place to place. I have like a whole, like I have a car and I have like a mechanic shop. I have like all these, they would have such pretty islands, and I feel like I could never get my island to look like that. So it was very sad when I would actually look at my island, and it just wasn't very pretty to look at. And so that made me kind of bummed because I could never get stuff to make my island look pretty. And so I really did everything I could, but by the end of the first year plus the time that I did the swimming stuff, I was basically done with the game because I built my house to everything. I even paid off all of my loans from Tom Nook, and I had bought most of the stuff that I wanted from the stores. I didn't there wasn't really much for me to do now, and so I was kind of bummed. But for the time being, I do credit Animal Crossing with being one of the games that got me back into gaming, because it had me playing every day. It had me talking to my friends about it. That was everyone was playing it, and so it was very fun, and it was very comforting, and everyone says that it was very perfect for escapism during times where we couldn't leave the house, and that is probably the best way to put it. I remember there were so many times to where my friend would come to my island and we would go and we would do the different fishing things, or the bug catching events, or we would just go and run around the island, and it was so fun because that would be the only way that we could hang out together without actually being in the same room. So this was really the gateway into me just playing games with friends and hanging out with them. So I do credit Animal Crossing a lot for helping with that. And that's probably one of the best things that I got out of the game. And it was a very fun year. A lot of people I see are upset because they feel like Nintendo bailed on the game too soon. And maybe it's because this is my first Animal Crossing game. I don't have the nostalgia or really the knowledge of everything that went into the other games. But I think it did enough. It would have been great if they had more. I know that they gave out DLC, that paid for DLC for Happy Home Paradise. I kind of wanted it, but I couldn't. But I watched gameplay of it and it seemed super fun. So if you count that, I think the game did a lot for a lot of people. I think it just came out at the perfect time. And yeah, they could have done a lot more with it. But at the end of the day, they released the game and it helped a lot of people, including myself. So I think it did enough. Now the question is there going to be another game that can match the popularity that Animal Crossing had upon release? I don't really have a whole lot to say about this because it was a very fun game for a year for me. It did a lot of good things, but that's really about all I have to say for it. So I guess that's it for this episode of Pixel Journey. So if you're watching on YouTube, comment below. Did you play Animal Crossing? How many hours did you put into your game? Do you think that there's another game that can match the hype that Animal Crossing had? And if you liked this, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more gaming related stuff, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, if you like me, rate me 5 stars. And, follow the podcast for more of this to hear me rambling about games I like. And no matter what platform you're on, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!